Okay, so we're going to go back to the discussion on operations today with the Grande Pacific Railroad and using JMRI as the means to create the manifest in the movement of cars. Okay, this is the page, and it's right here. JMRI.org, download, and you go right here and you're going to pick one of the three options to download onto your computer, and you use, right now it's 14.18. okay, if some wild chance you're running XP still, you're going to have to back way up. If you go down this page further to the bottom, you have to, I think it's 14. Could be 12, 4.12 or something. Anyway, it's way back there. You have to use that one. And there will be features that are not in some of the updates that you won't get. But I don't think there's a whole too many people still operating on XP. This computer right here is running Windows 7. I use Norton to cover me since 7 is no longer supported. I guess some point here in the near future we're going to take the computer over to my computer guy. He's going to check Windows 10 that all my programs work, and we'll probably leap forward. So anyway, there we are. Okay, so we've downloaded the programs on the computer, and up here in the corner you'll end up with Decoder Pro and Panel Pro. You click on Panel Pro and you get this screen comes up. You do not have to have your railroad connected to the computer. It does not have to be interfaced. There are a lot of things that would make it nice if you did, but just to run operations, it does not have to be connected. When you get this window open, you will not see the word operations. Okay, you have to go under Tools right there, and you'll see Operations. And then you click on Settings, and in the Settings thing, it'll ask you, do you want to have operations appear in the main menu at Startup, and you say yes. Okay? So then Operations appears right here. And then you can click on it. I'm going to do something and then I'll come back. You click on the drop down and you have the following options: locations, cars, locomotives, routes, and trains. We're not going, you're going to have to go into settings, do that. I have a whole video on this. It goes back a way, but it's still relevant. Full-part video on doing this. But let's just say you're going to go to settings, set it up, set the options. Then you have to start with locations, cars. Skip locomotives. Don't fool with locomotives to start with. Then you've got to create routes and trains. That gets to be where some of the fun gets into. Okay, so I opened up the trains list, and this is all my trains. I've gone way overboard. Like I said, this is a big railroad. I have trains that go and come, and believe me, I need to scroll this. There's more here than you're not seeing. So I have trains that do all kind of things, and that's the beauty of the program. You can create trains and run them all over the place. The train we're after today is up here. It's one of my manifest freights. right here where it says preview. I can click that button and it gives me the preview of the train where it starts, stops, where all the cars and setouts and pickups are. Okay, can do that. What this train does is over here you go to edit and it tells you, and there's right there, it starts in golden and it goes through these places, and the ones that are checked in dark is where it stops. Okay, and then it comes down. I have to move this, and it goes to Junction Industrial Yard, put some cars in there, and then it goes into Junction Staging, or it goes into the yard waiting for the next crew to come along and take it in its journey. Remember the discussion, this is just one division of the railroad, okay? So this train we built, okay? When you build it and you've gone into settings and you click create a file under your administrator. This is the master file for the railroad, for JMRI Railroad. If I go into operations, you see CVS CVS manifest. There's the file for the train. Okay? So then when I go to right down here, click on Manifest Creator, it starts up. Now you have to go to Manifest Creator. You have to enable the content. If I go to create a thing, there's that file right there. It was here. This program looks for it. It goes to that folder. It picks the file up, and then I say open. Let's see. No, I gotta highlight it. Okay, open the folder, and there's the manifest, and you print it out. And here's the printed out version. Okay. All right. So this is all the cars in the train. So we need to go in the other room and you need to see this train. So it's all done. But let's just do one other thing while we're here. We're going to close this up, and because we're not going to fool with this again. Do you want to save changes? No. Okay. We can go back. We can close this too. We go here. Now, if we go here, this is cars. Okay. Down at the bottom, if I want to find a car on the railroad or where it's supposed to be, it's right here. You go in here and you type in the number, and then you click find. It will find a car. Let's see. Let's put in 1012. Fine. And then it found the car. It's a BLMR hopper. It's 56 feet long. It's loaded. It's in the Junction Industrial Yard. Junction Industrial Yard Track 4. That would make sense to me because I know that in Junction Industrial Yard, the only track that's allowed to receive grain cars is track 4. And there's a reason for that. Okay? Now, I told you about the move count. There's the move count. We seem to be about the highest move count right now is 28. You remember I mentioned something about the passenger. I was going to have a mail train in the other video, and I created it. Well, you notice the passenger car hasn't moved, okay? Whatever. So we got a 0 count, and here's 2 more. right here. 0 counts. They haven't moved. So we're still working on that project. But this is the cars. Now, it's all the way at the top. Now, the other thing about it, you go down here to the bottom, 634 cars. Okay? So we pull the lever and we start scanning. Okay? Lots of cars, people. The computer keeps up with this. Most of these are, with 99% of them are in the 20 move count. The program works the cars by the move counts. That's how it works. Loads and empties and move counts. Depends on which way you're going. Now, here you see cars showing up in this column, destination. Those are the cars that are in this train. When I build this thing up for an operating session, usually we move, if we have a full-blown operating session with 12 people, we'll move 85% of these cars. 85% of them move. So anyway, this is cars. Each car has to be put in individually, and you click that button and a screen pops up. Not going to go into all that because I've done that on another video you can watch. This is just giving you an idea on where the program gets all of its information. Okay? And how you go about it. If you go to one more screen here, locations. Let's whiten that out. So here are the railroad's locations. Apex, Apex Industrial, Apex ATSF Interchange, Cargo, all the places on a railroad. Okay? Now if I go to Apex and I click Edit, down here at the bottom, it gives me each one of the spurs at Apex. Okay? It tells me the length, the used, what's used, how many cars are on the track, and so forth. Okay, everything I know. It also tells me what cars are allowed to be in Apex. And in this case, because of the yard there, we pretty much allow them all to go into the yard. Now, the individual sidings, if I click, let's see, go here. If I go to Apex Depot, you see there's nothing checked off at Piers. One, well, it's got RPO, and let's see, right there, LCL boxcar. That's the only things that can go on that track. Okay, so that's an example of how you control everything. So let's go play with the train. Now, the chat room, if you go on the chat room and you post the questions and you want to talk about operations, start it off with ops semicolon. That way, the person who wrote the program, he watches this whole thing. Other people who are very familiar with operations will answer, or usually are the first ones to come and answer. So if you have a problem and you want to talk about how to solve it, make it work, there is a chat room, and they will give you good information to resolve it. Okay, most of the times on a big operating session for this railroad on a Friday meeting, we hold most of those on Saturday, since we still have people who come and play who have to go to work. So we hold the big sessions on Saturday. Well, on Friday, the troops will come in and set the trains up. We'll print all this stuff out. Somebody will take this manifest here. And this is train 101, okay? West manifest Golden to Junction. Validated on 4/1/20. Okay, well, it's 4/5, but hey, we won't tell. They're going to take this manifest, and if we have time, we block the trains. That's what the column says right here. Locations and loads. This is how you block the train in that order. Okay, the 6 to 18 cars go in that order, because the first place it's going to Rockridge puts the 2 cars right behind the engine. They go first. Then we well, it's track 1, and then you come to track 3, which is I showed you in the video. But the first, well, actually in this case, 5 cars go to Rockridge, then the next 4 go to Silverville, then 4 go to Apex, and then 5 go to Tolan. And that's the order which the train's going in. We're going to pick up cars on the way, and they have to be put into the train. You can see right here, we're going to pick up 2 cars at New River Mine. Let's see here. Schedule work at New River, train arrives and departs at so on and so forth. It's going to pick up those 2 cars, and it tells us where to put them in the train. They're going to junction track 2. Now that is a staging track, so it can really go anywhere in the front of the train. We'll make comments on this as we go along. But when you pick those 2 cars up, you really kind of put them right behind the engine, because they're going to go all the way to the end. So we're going to pull this in. We're going to block this train out. And I'm not going to get into showing you that, because there ain't no point in that. We're going to put the cars in this order. They aren't in that order. Remember what I told you, the computer picks things out randomly. Well, that train was brought in and terminated. Now it's randomly using the cars in another order. So we're going to set these, block it out, and then we'll go on from there. Okay, so we've printed out the manifest, and we've gotten our train, which was on track 2 back there on the other side of those Rio Grande units. We moved it over here on one of the arrival departure tracks, as you see here. Now, how you set up your railroad and where it departs from and how it works, there's just endless possibilities. We store the 3, there's 3 tracks in the back for stage trains back over there where the Rio Grande is. And we have 2 arrival departure tracks when trains are being made up out of the front yard. We use these 3 front yard tracks as yard tracks. And we can actually make up trains out of here. Get into that later. Might probably be another video on making up a train out of here. So we moved the train over here, the SP 7500, which, by the way, these 2 SD45s, I think go back into the 20th century. They're Cato's. But let's just say that, by the way, we had a break there for a few minutes. The engineer's drinking on the job. Today's CV 19 day 1819. So anyway, it's late in the afternoon. It's time for cocktails. So anyway, we have the engine train is over here. Well, while I was gone, we blocked the train. We discussed that right here. It's an order. So this is manifest freight 101, and it's going to be going, as it tells you right here at the bottom, Train departs Golden, traveling west with 16 cars, 6 loaded, 13 empties, so many feet, so many tons. Time of departure 000. You can set this whole timetable thing up for your railroad. That's another discussion really on scheduling and all that, but we'll just say that this is the first train of the day. That's why it's showing 00. The program does reset. So anyway, we then, while we were away, and what happens here is, if we're going to have a big operating session on a Saturday, where we're going to have the whole crew in here operating, on Friday when the club guys come over, they'll pull these trains out and block them. For example, the Rio Grande train back there right now that's sitting there is a stage train, but it's not blocked because we haven't printed it out, so we don't know what the computer's going to do with the car. So once we print it out and we know all the trains we're going to run, then the computer, then we get the printout like this, and the guys can block it. Well, the train is now blocked. It's sitting on arrival track 1, and it's actually lined up to go out west. So we'll take the train and we'll head out west, and the first stop we have to go to is Rock Ridge. Okay, we blew the horn. Okay, sorry, train doesn't have any sound. Yeah, we got around to doing this one. This has plain old decoders in it. Probably going to put sound in it soon. Those are good running engines, believe me. So we head west. Now, in this railroad, you're heading on the outside track of the helix. Okay, talked about a little bit of this in the first video, so we're not going to go through the whole routine of you following the train up the video, okay? There's a TV monitor in the other room which you can see this happening as an operator. You can watch your train go up. Okay, so here comes our train, and it's come up out of the Golden, and it's now entering the Colorado Springs section with its Colorado Springs siding. Now remember, from me to it is hundreds of miles. It's nowhere close to Apex. Again, it's called a modeler's license. Okay? So, train is working its way. We put the tunnel in back there. That's all styrofoam if you haven't seen the video on it. We put the tunnel in so you could not see the tracks from the station. It's an appearance thing. And, oops, don't have the lights on back here. Missed some lights. I'll have to go turn the lights on when we go by. So a little train comes along here. Must be getting into twilight dusk, so it's headed into the dark. And it goes through tunnel 28. You remember 29's on the other side of the wall. Just love it. Okay. So train's going through the wall, and there we go. We're going to go over to Rock Ridge. Okay. Now the trains arrived on the outskirts of Rock Ridge. It came through over here, like I said, tunnel 29. Okay, we're on the other side of the wall now. It's not 28, it's 29. Okay, and it's sitting here on the outskirts of Rock Ridge. Now, you have to work Rock Ridge. Rule here in operations, and again, applies also to the big railroad to a great degree. In this case, we need to go pick up the cars we got to pick up first. We have a switcher around, so we can use it. But we need to go get some cars, because we have cars over here on track 3, and we have cars here on tracks, let's see. We have these are the pickups right here. So we have track 1 cars, we have a car on track 2, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3. So we have to pick up all those cars that are going with us. Then we have to set out these cars right here on those tracks. Now, we know those 5 cars are right there in the front of the train. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to round up these cars. We'll see how we can video this to a certain degree. I'm not going to video the whole thing because I think everybody gets the drift. Now, one of the things we do here, because I'm pretty good at this, you know, they kind of get amazed at me when they say, where's this car? 630 whatever cars we saw before. And I pretty much know every car, you know, kind of know where they should be, where they shouldn't be, so forth. So we use these pieces like this. These are plaster strut cut in half. So this is just kind of a tip on operations, just something we do. First of all, we went around and put markers on the top of the cars. Okay, you can read, this is a real good car, you can read that number real good on the side of that car. Can't read the one on behind it though. Nope. I'm standing at 5'11", 5'10.5". The height of the right here is 40 inches. So that's about 42.5 inches off the floor right there. Can't see the car in the back. Well, in this case, not a problem. Even though it's backwards, I can tell it's SB. And when you're reading the car numbers for the sake of operation, we've all learned real quick, you just look at the last 2. It's SP 59, okay? No, 56, because that's upside down. All right, so you want to look through here, and you got to pick up 3 cars off the track, well, 4 cars off track 1, right here. The New Orleans Public Belt car, NIRX boxcar green, I see it down there, an FOB yellow boxcar, and an AFC chemical right there. So we have those cars. Now, to help my little workers, we let them put the little marker on top of the car. That's a pickup. And these little steel I-beams from plaster strut work good because when it's a curved car, they don't slide off while you're doing this. We got to pick up the FOB car, and we have to pick up the Mobile, Gulf, and Ohio car. Okay? That's on track 1. Okay, another little thing about track numbering. The railroad says you count from the main coming back, or closest track to the main is track 1. That's not human nature. So on this railroad, that's track 1. That's track 2, because that's the way human beings count. Okay, 1, 2, main, siding. Okay, track 3 is over there. Okay, so we got the 4 cars on track 1 spotted. Now there's 3. The Denver Rio Grande RBL, the Coal Hopper Blue, and the RBL Orange. That's interesting. We didn't get a chance to spot them. So we didn't run the local in between, so these cars didn't get spotted out, but that's okay. Okay, we dropped that one. Okay. So we got this one, and we got to pick up the Golden West Services car. Yep. Now, over on the other one, we have to pick up SP Gondola and another FBOX boxcar, and the last 2 on it is 51. So we're going to go down here and get a couple more of these. And we're going to go over here and we're going to mark 51, and we have to pick up 22. It's the only gun here, so we kind of know that one. All right, so we've marked all the cars. Now we're going to use, I'll set these back here. Now we're going to use the features of NCE and hit the recall button, and we're going to select loco 2816, 2816. Select loco 2816, enter. Reverse. Okay, so now we have our little engine. We're going to leave the train set back there. What I'm going to do is go get all these cars and I'm going to put them on the station track. Okay? So we're in the process here. We know which cars, so we can move this out the way. And this is where I have to get into this too. We'll stop the engine right here for a minute. Okay, we have a place to put the clipboard right here. Okay, clipboard stays there. I know what I have to do now. I have to get these cars all picked up. So I'm going to go after, actually I'm going to go back forward, and I'm going to go over here and get the two cars that are over here on track 3. Okay. Now, oh, bad, bang. Okay, you have to uncouple the cars. There's no magnet on this track on this spot. We'll just lift it up. Okay, so we now got the gondola where we can separate it off. We don't need that car. All right. We need the next two. So we come back over here and we're going to set those over here. Okay. Through the switch. We go over here and push them back down this lead. That's the lead that goes back to a couple of switches back there. All right. Now you can use a pick stick. I don't have enough hands to do all this. Okay, so we're going to have to fudge a little bit. Pick stick, or you can have a magnet. I have a lot of magnets around here. Now we're going to put this back, these two cars back. And filming this and doing all this. I'm the sole operator here today. You know, we're playing separation. So don't have anybody to assist us. So we got our those 3 cars there. We got our 2 cars over here all set up. Through the switch, we can go back and pick these 2 up. And, all right, go forward. Now, me being the good Samaritan, I'm going to take the marker off the car and we're going to put it over here in its little home. All right. So we're going to run the train back over here and we will speed it up. Warning, I'm going to tell you people, a lot of people who operate really get upset if you speed your train up too much. Almost ran over a switch. So we select accessory 289, enter 2. Okay, close on that one. Speedy Gonzalez. Okay, so we're going to select accessory because these are all controlled by the dispatcher. 2. Enter 1. Oh, get the engine going forward here. So this is the game. Okay, so we've got the first two of the cars. Now we have to come out here and we have to get the other 6 cars, right? No, 5 cars. So the other thing you do, once you have all of them assembled, you check off, make sure you have the right cars and so forth. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to go get the rest of the cars and we'll come back. Okay, so our little sheet here had pick up 9 cars. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 cars. All right, so we've gotten the 9 cars. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Nope, we're missing one. Oh my goodness. So now we need to check off a car, see which one we missed. Oh, I know which one. It's right there. We missed the coal hopper because we didn't have a little thing on it. So we need to get that car. Wait, be back in just 1 second. Okay, now we got the car. Ha! I did that on purpose, people. You got to count off. Got to check. Got to make sure that you have picked up the cars that you want. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to drop off the cars out of the train. The first 5 cars in the train have to go here. 3 go in the other yard. And over on track 3 over there. And 2 go on track 1 right here in front of us. Now, we'll push the 2 in track 1 with the road engines, and we'll shove the other cars over there on a track. And I'll show you that one. But the point is here, we now have our cars set out on the station track in front of the station, and they're ready for the train to come through, pick them up. They also have places they have to go in the train, because some of these cars are going to be dropped off someplace. So we have to pick them up and put them blocked into the train, and it tells you that. So we'll get into that. So at this point, we're going to stop right here, and this will be the break for the day. When I come back, it'll be tomorrow, because, okay, the engineer failed the piss test. They came and caught him drinking on the job again. Oh, well. So come back tomorrow. They'll reinstate us. They'll say they made a mistake. Okay, whatever. But this will be where we stop for the day. All right?